original 45 in my brain. 45 minutes of 45 selection with Dashai. This is Ray Darwin on my tribute to the Dashai 45 session.
7-inch 45, you know we keep it alive. Yeah, yeah.
45 minutes of 45 in my spin. Chilling on the sofa with the roots rock rhythm. Spread the good vibes, brethren. Cause we have another spliff blazing. Can't touch Dashai 45.
Greetings and welcome once again. This is 45 minutes of 45s, and I'm your host, Dashai, and today I linked up with my brethren, Nick, aka DJ Solidrock.
Yeah, man.
Bo. Yeah, man. I'm hyped to, link up with you. A lot of people don't know, Nick Solidrock was the main DJ for the longest time at the Sierra Nevada Music Festival. That's how we got linked up with Northern California. We linked up with Jaw Warrior Shelter, and then Nick put us on right away. So Nick was definitely, Solidrock was definitely a big part of the movement for Tribe of Kings up in Northern California to get our name out, to get our vibes out up there. So Nick's Solidrock is down in San Diego now, and of course I linked up with a couple other DJs and 45 nerds already, and of course Solid was on the top of the list. So we had to link up and, just again, man, give thanks for taking the time out and vibing with us, You know me for a long time as a 45 selector, even though, reggae is the vibe, but 45 always was my thing, something about the 45. So first let people know how you got into DJing, maybe a little bit touch on your Sierra Nevada vibes with us.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll just go from there.
So first on you guys, I want to say thanks to you too. You're right. I was what would be called like the managing resident DJ for the Sierra Nevada World Music Festival for about a decade.
Okay.
In the last few years, I kind of faded out. I had enough kind of festivals, and I passed it over to our late friend Carlos Culture, who was doing that organizing.
Rest in power, Carlos. Both.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, but you're right. So I'm from San Diego. I was living up north for the time. At that time, and for a long time, was up there, and I'd heard about you guys. I came to understand who you were and what you were down here. So I think that's how we connected, was through the festival. But I don't know if you reached out to me or if I reached out to you. I really don't remember what it was, but we connected. So we brought you in. I got to bring you to the festival, and that's when we got to meet each other and got to know each other. And that was the beginning. And then after that, when I would come back to San Diego to visit, you guys are always on my list to try to catch up.
Always link up. Always good vibes, you know what I mean? So give thanks. Yeah, man.
And on that same note, when I first moved back to San Diego, about 10 years ago now.
Yeah, man.
Can believe it.
I can't believe it.
You were living on 32nd over there near Thorn.
Yeah.
You reached out to me again, and I want to say thanks to you, because when I came back, I really had nothing in front of me, nothing planned. And you immediately brought me in to do radio with you guys when you guys were doing radio out of Otay.
Okay,
so out of nowhere, dude, you looped me in, brother. Like did that for me, just because I had just come back, just to give me something to do.
Yeah, so man, vibes.
I want to say thanks to you.
Of course, brother. Really of course. Give thanks.
Yeah, so I appreciate that.
So how did you get into the whole reggae? Before we get into 45s, how did you get into being into reggae DJ?
Right
that story, so to speak.
And people ask me that. They look at me people would look at me walking down the street or wherever, the grocery store, and they might not guess what I feel about the world.
Right.
What I've taken in through the music and my position on life and these things, and how we've been dealing with the half that's never been told, And so people ask me why do you deal with reggae music so much? Why is it such a thing to you? And my best explanation, and this took me a long time to get to this answer, it's part of our San Diego culture. I grew up here, and I was really more of a skateboarder than a surfer, but we learned in my group about what cool was, the culture of cool, and counterculture and rebel culture. And those were fueled even really before hip hop came so much by punk and reggae. Like those were the two of the counterculture musics that were involved with what I was trying to do and what I perceived as the culture of cool and the counterculture and the rebel culture that I liked. Some of my earliest shows, big shows, were 1986 at the Open Air, San Diego State.
Wow,
Sly and Robbie, Yellow Man, Half Pint.
Wow, that was way before my time.
But I was young, and some of the older guys, surf culture used to be like that. They used to watch out for they called us grommets, and some of the bigger guys took me to that. But so I felt bass from back then, and really I got to give it up to Makeda and 91X because I learned a lot of music, and I knew that if I wanted to be part of that culture, the Sunday night show was part of that.
Right.
So Makeda's 91X
Reggae Makosa
was part of bass culture and counterculture.
Yeah,
for
man.
sure, that was a staple. Years later, I moved up to Chico, California, and for me, that's when it really, really changed. There were two particular DJs on Monday and Friday at the station KZFR 90.1 FM out of Chico. And for me, they were just playing reggae music on another level. There was
Right.
a lot of dub, a lot of deep channel one,
Okay.
a lot of versions, a lot of disco mixes. And it was just so next level that I started to call because I had some understanding of it and some material that I owned, but it was completely next level.
Right.
And you know
Just
how
different stuff.
Different stuff.
Yeah,
but
man.
you know how it is. When a DJ is really, really good, they can play something for the first time and it's still good. You don't have to be able to sing along.
Right.
But if it's a good selection, it's good.
Good tune's a good tune. Yeah, man.
And so those two guys became my friends. They ended up bringing me into the station.
Nice.
And the 7-inch is a big part of how, or the 45 is a big part of how I connected with them.
Right.
Honestly, those guys were really strong on LPs, and they were really strong on 12-inch on disco mixes. And so when I started to get to know them, and we started to like go to each other's houses and play music on like Thursday night, let's cook and go through records.
Vibe, yeah, man.
I've started to figure out that one thing I could bring to the group was more digging on the 45s.
Right.
So the 45 is my road to my bond with two of my absolute best friends in life. Sanjay, who's still on KZFR, and my brother Jay, who's Boomshot.
Nice.
Who's over
Okay.
now.
Yeah, man.
Those are two of my best friends.
Nice.
We bonded through this music, and my bond to them was in starting to dig and deliver stuff back to that group because they were so thick and deep already.
Right.
I had to look for other ground to cover to bring something.
Yeah, man.
And that's the story, man.
Okay, let's play some tunes. I know you got a couple things already. Before we started, you started to tell me, and I was like, "Hold on, let's wait."
Okay.
So let's get into some tunes.
So on that, Boomshot had a long-standing relationship with the great archivist Roger Steffens out of Los Angeles.
Okay.
Roger's well known as a Marley historian, as a writer, as an archivist, as I said, as a collector, as a big part of this culture, the big part of this counterculture, the Beat magazine, everything else. So I was very honored to be invited to go to Rogers. And when you go to Rogers with friends, we would literally take recording devices.
Okay.
We would take, this is in the time of mini disc.
Right.
And those guys knew what they wanted to do, and I dove into the 7-inch. And that's when I really started to learn singers like Ronnie Davis, who became probably my favorite singer. And this is one of my favorites of all time. And I recorded it first at Rogers. It's a roots tune. It's not a shocker to anyone, but to me, it shows Ronnie in full voice. It's a modest production. When people talk about wine, sometimes you don't want something that's wildly assertive or super aggressive, but it's just good in all the good ways.
Yeah, man.
This is a song that really, really talks to me, and it shows Ronnie in sort of full voice. It's called Train to Zion. There's a different cut on the LP version of this. The 7-inch to me is the
See, and I love that with 7 inches.
Yeah.
I don't know how you discovered it. You discovered this from your friend.
From Roger.
But then you found it.
Yes.
And it's a different cut, different version of the LP.
That's right.
Or the full-length album, whatever
right.
people want to call it,
Yeah.
And I love that about 7 inches.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, and a lot of times, in my opinion, the 7-inch is a better mixed version. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So let's check this out.
Yeah,
and do you happen to know the album it's from or anything
Ronnie
like that?
Davis Sings for You and I. There's actually two different versions, but this one's called Train to Zion.
Okay.
The late Ronnie Davis.
Yeah,
you guys might know him from the ITALs.
Okay, I was going to say I know the name, but...
Ronnie's one of the ITALs, yeah.
Nice. Let's check this out.
The Enos McLeod production.
Wicked.
I ain't got no time to stay with you at all. I've got to find myself on the train to Zion.
Wow, that's old school with the train sound.
Yeah, man.
Now, was that a sample right there, or is that them just making the noise?
I have no idea where they got it. That's actually one of the differences that's not in the LP cut. And I'm realizing right now, I knew that one of these had the vocals reversed.
Okay.
So this is the B-side, which is why the vocals was cut out.
Let's go ahead and flip it. Yeah, man.
I'll jump in about halfway through so we don't have to go back through the material.
Yeah, we're good, we're good. Oh, let's start from the beginning.
Yeah?
I gotta hear the drum roll in every time,
so
you know?
Dude, I know.
So, again, this is Ronnie Davis.
Late Ronnie Davis, man. Singer, one of the many from Jamaica, deeply talented, and we love it maybe around the coast, on the island, probably less known.
I ain't got no time to stay with you at all. I've got to find myself on the train to Zion. I don't want to be late to reach on the train.
You got any, like, year this was released or any?
I think 74, 75.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is before, after, or during the iTunes?
So iTunes formation, you know, the best was around 75.
Okay.
You know the iTunes.
Yeah.
That's actually a second cut to that rhythm.
Okay.
Ronnie cut a vocal to that first called "Won't You Come Home."
Okay.
The producer Lloyd Campbell, and so he and Keith Porter got together with, I think it was Lloyd Ricketts. There's a couple people that worked in that too.
Yeah, man.
But played a small show in Nevada City.
Okay.
And I drove out through the snow to get there. And I took all these Ronnie Davis records and I waited until they left the building and walked out back to their car. And I was like, Mr. Davis, can I talk to you? And I showed him the records. He's like, where are you staying?
Yeah, man.
And I ended up getting a hotel room in their same hotel.
Yeah, man.
And we ended up going through all the records and telling stories all night long.
That's dope. That's dope.
Right here, David Isaacs. David has since passed, but he signed this.
Yeah, let's go ahead and play that too.
Play David Isaacs. So
this is what I love about. So you're into the roots vibes.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I got all kinds of stuff.
I know you got other things, but right now you're pulling out some real serious roots.
True.
Because when I remember when I first started selecting, we did a gig at I believe it's called Victor's by the Bay, and I remember Itos being there, and I was playing. It was like a family vibe. Wadi Gad was there.
Oh.
Like it was so family vibe. It was one of my first times playing. I was DJing, and a little kid came up and like touched a record, and there was probably like 200 people dancing in between. And right when he grabbed the record, I just like moved his hand and pulled the needle up and was like, pull up! And everybody went crazy because they knew the little kid did it, but it kind of carried the vibe, you know, like super, super, super family vibes, you know?
Yeah.
So, but go ahead, play one of those.
I'll play a really early David Isaacs.
Yeah, man. And who's David Isaacs? I'm not super familiar with him.
Yeah, same. So another artist that was just kind of bubbling under, and what I recently got, this is a reissue. This is an early cut he did with Lee Perry. The reason why I have the reissue is because I couldn't ever pay enough to get the actual. This is the actual original of this song. Was like Japanese collectors and some people in France are paying like crazy money for it. So it finally got reissued. And later, David would sing as one of the backup singers with the Itals. The later versions where the Itals toured. If anyone has gone to shows in San Diego, maybe in the last couple decades, the version of the Itals you probably saw was Keith Porter, Ronnie Davis, and David Isaacs.
Okay, see, I'm getting an Itals lesson today myself. I'm not super familiar. I know about their music. I know who they are. Yeah. But I'm not super familiar with individual singers and whatnot.
Yeah, no, this is a big part of it. So this is the trail I cut through the 7-inch, through the 45, and so my homies Boomshot and Sanjay had the LPs and the disco mixes covered, And so this is real early. This is very early for Lee Perry, very early for David.
Yeah, man. I know we were talking before. I got some 80s rub-a-dub stuff I wanted to, or DJ style I wanted to play you, so. So you're saying, yeah, man.
I could tell you a quick story. So that same night when I caught up with Ronnie, those guys were actually sharing a room.
Yeah, man.
And me and Ronnie were over like this desk, like nerding out on the records, and David was chilling out on the bed, just like watching a kung fu movie. And we were talking about blah 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 blah. And I asked Ronnie like where he, where did he really learn to sing, and was it in church? He goes, "Nah, man, I was never really a church guy." He goes, "Ask him." I go, "David, where'd you learn to sing?" And he goes like this, "Is the best." He goes, basically like straight up, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
It was the powers above.
Yeah, man.
Like he gave all the credit away. Like had nothing to do. I'm just a vessel.
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah,
went
man.
straight back to watching kung fu. It was a cool moment.
Yeah, man.
David,
Vibes.
Yeah.
So let me just show everybody right quick. I knew I came to the right house when even the coasters are 7-inched. I don't know if you can see that. Let me switch the camera. You can check that. Even the coasters is a 7-inch label. I got this tune at home, actually.
Nice.
And what else you got over here? See, Studio One. I got this track, the racetrack track.
Gustus Pablo.
See that? Gustus Pablo.
Moody's.
Got that 7-inch
This
too,
one's
actually.
beat though. This one's I've actually been using.
Oh, I got this one too.
So I don't remember exactly who made them, but I got those. There was actually a fundraiser for the Alpha School.
Oh,
in Jamaica.
dope.
Yeah. Maybe like 15 years ago. But
see, I knew I came to the right crib.
That's what's up.
Those are dope. Those are dope.
That's it, dude. Got it bad.
So, what else you got? Or I got that one track I can play you.
Let's hear it.
All right. I brought a couple tracks, but let's see. And I probably ran into this. Oh, man. I want to say maybe on one of my LA trips, because I used to go to Amoeba all the time, and I mentioned in a different episode, I used to drive up there by myself, 8 o'clock in the morning, wake up, drive up to, what was the spot? Aaron's. I would go to Aaron's on Highland, and then shoot over to Amoeba, and then later on, Tower Records opened up. But I would just go and dig through records. And I probably ran into this and was like, oh, this sounds like some DJ stuff. And I don't even know if I got to listen to it, but it was right exactly what I thought. I have no idea. I don't know the label. Of course, Solid knew the label.
Familiar.
I don't know the label. I just knew the lyrics on some Don't Give Me No Crack. Don't give me no crack. That's what I was thinking in my head. Victor Rankin, never heard of him. Sammy Culture, never heard of him then. Now I know who he is, but never just picked it up. So let's check it out. Oh, let me actually show everybody really quick over here. Boom. See. So I know you. What else you got on there? Solid. You got some other tunes on there?
Yeah, I've got a few 12-inch actually. I have someone did a recut. It might have been. So I just caught a look at the other side. The other artist is Ruler Brown.
Okay.
So it's actually his label.
Okay.
It's his label. And last I heard, he was in Atlanta. I was in touch with him for a while. Super good dude.
80s vibes, right?
Yeah, mid-80s.
Yeah, and it sounds just like you would think it was
like,
mid-80s.
I think this is early. This is on the early side, and he cruised into the 90s and cut some 7s and some 12s that are like tough bass tunes. I got a tough Patrick Andy from him.
So is this coming out of Jamaica, or is this coming out of New York or something?
That might be an American-made record.
Yeah, because I found a lot of the UK, not the UK, because I was thinking UK because there's somebody else. A lot of this like almost like 80s rub-a-dub, like almost like rap style is coming out of New York, the UK, you know, those kind of vibes. So I don't know anything about this. I picked it up, and it's like what I thought, and I used to play this all the time. I haven't played it recently, but we gotta back it up right there.
Now this one is dedicated to our youth and youth of the whole wide world, coming from Victor Rankin and Summer Culture. Exclusive.
Exactly what you think, right?
Boom shot. Hey, oh what a ding, oh what a down ding, oh what a ding, oh what a down ding, oh what a ding, oh what a down ding, oh what a ding, oh what a down ding. Hey, don't give me no crap, 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 never hear that. Don't give me no crap, don't give me no crap, better friend that. Don't give me no crap, don't give me no crap. If not give me no crap, cause we no want that, cause we no eat that. Don't give me no crap, cause we no want that, cause we no eat that. Don't give me no crap, cause we no want that, cause we no eat that. Are you familiar with this track? Or you just know the label and the vibe? Sister but down, she big and she fat. Me said no, she get too slim, and me said no, she get trim. It seems like she live far from our kitchen. It seems like she now take.
I gotta find you a copy,
All because of the free basing. Hey, don't give me no crap, don't give me no crap. Bye. Don't give me no crap, don't give me no crap. Don't give me no crap, don't give me no crap. Don't give me no crap, don't give me no crap. It name don't give me no crap, cause we no want that, cause we no eat that. Don't give me no crap, cause we no want that, cause we no eat that. Don't give me no crap, cause we no want that, cause we no eat that.
That vibe reminds me of like Slang Tang, like Shinehead.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I was thinking that reminds me of like some Ja Life 7-inch from about that same period. So Brooklyn-based, New York-based.
Yeah, New York,
and
like
with two DJs paired. Like that,
right, like that style. Yeah, it's man. That Michigan and Smiley style. Yep, so big up Michigan, big up Smiley. And speaking of that same vibe, I probably already had this tune, but this is the same vibe. And I can't remember if I played it on a different episode, but either way, you're going to hear it again. This is exactly what we were saying, that DJ style combo. And this is Friday and Colin Might, and I know that they're out of the UK.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not sure if this is pressed or pushed out. You might be more familiar with this record label than I am. It's from '88. And actually, I know they're in the UK because I've been working on getting the dub plate.
Oh, no way.
So, yeah.
Dude,
and
such
you know,
a big tune.
Such a big tune. And certain tunes is really hard to find on dub plate.
Yeah.
I got something more recently. I'll talk to you about it off camera.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, like certain dub plates. Anyway, this is Play the Tune. This is one of those tunes. Same vibe as this one. And I know you're familiar with it. But just so people know, like, where we're going. I have a couple other ones at home. Yeah.
Right now! Come here, you! God's calling you!
Life is what you make it, so come here, my dear.
It's like almost like a soft crossover track, but it's wicked. Yeah.
Life is what you make it, so come here, my dear. Try and make it. I know that
Singing part and I can DJ part, right? Go to the DJ.
Ragamuffin, love, come give me the ragamuffin. Ragamuffin, love, come give me the ragamuffin. Ragamuffin, love, come give me the ragamuffin. Ragamuffin, love, come give me the ragamuffin, love. Yes, I sister, baby, love off the ragamuffin, love. Yes, I sister,
which is super wicked.
Yeah.
So I know you got some other tunes to play us.
Sure.
So let's not jump into that too much there.
Oh.
I know you had you touched on that. I know you have a couple other tunes to touch on. So
yeah, keeping with the theme of the 45.
Yeah, man.
I mean, when we talked about this, it would be easy to go down sort of a million paths of different kinds of, but so in the same way that the 45 was a sort of a vehicle to bond with my two friends in Chico.
Yeah, man.
I was in Lose Records one time, and if anyone listens to reggae radio in San Diego, you might have heard me telling this story. I did for 3 years Sunday mornings with the late Carlos Culture on Alt 94.9. So we would tell stories about our friendship from back in the day, and but late 90s, I'm in Lose Records.
So I know Luz because I grew up in Oceanside,
okay,
which is North County, San Diego.
Right, coastal.
And yeah, we won't get into it too much, but I mean, my mom used to go there and pick up music and stuff. And that was a big part when I was getting into buying 45s, like really getting into it. I was there when everything went 50%, all the 7 inches, right? Right?
Yeah.
So I spent like hours by myself just looking, and I didn't really know what I was buying yet, so I was just like, I know this guy Luciano. Oh, cool. Then, once I kind of knew, I was there when they told me the next day they were going 50 cents. And they said I can just start shopping now. And I was by myself. And I just
take it.
I probably bought like half the records then.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Lose Records, big up Lose Records.
For real.
I believe they're still around. You can definitely go check them out. I buy a lot of DVDs and stuff there. So big up Lose Records.
One of the first importers of Jamaican records into California. One of the first importers of Jamaican records in California. So I'm in Luz. That was my connection. So as I said, I'm from San Diego. I was living up north, was up there for years, would come back. Would always have a few things on my list. Would try to go to Ranchos and OB. Would try to get a certain type of burrito somewhere. Would try to maybe see, certain family, a couple friends, and then try to hit Luz Records. I'm in Luz Records. I'm asking for something. Another UK band called Misty and Roots. And the guy behind me goes, "What are you looking for?" And I was like, "Misty and Roots." He goes, "Who are you?" And this is Carlos. And so we end up. This is how we end up making friends.
Yeah, man.
We trade numbers. I found it the other day where he wrote his number down.
That's
for me.
dope.
225-1198. And so Carlos and I become friends, and at that time, not to date ourselves too much, but a couple things are happening. One, mixtapes are still a thing.
Right.
They're not. They're kind of throwback at that time because people are probably burning CDs, but we're still making mixtapes. Like my radio show at that time, I'm on the air 90.1 out of Chico. I'm recording every one of my shows on tape.
My first mix was on a tape.
Okay. And the other thing that's happening is dancehall and modern roots reggae releases are all coming on multiple 7-inch, right? And so this is the story of Jamaica. You know what I mean? Like week after week after week, fresh cuts. And if you want to be a DJ and you want to be with it and you want to be like staying current, then you have to have fresh cuts. And so Carlos and I would literally, I'd buy some, he'd buy some, and we would mail each other tapes.
Dope.
So I came across a tape from him from back in '98.
Dope.
A literal cassette, and part of this set was on it. And I'm trying to think of which one I want to play.
So if people don't know, I love that tune.
This one?
And that's that. I got that on dub. We should play that tune.
Let's play this one because this is an artist that he used to work with too.
Dope.
And
like we mentioned before, if people aren't familiar, if you're not familiar with reggae music, how things work, especially 7-inch releases at the time Nick's talking about, people wrote on the same rhythm, and this has been happening for decades now in Jamaica. And the short story of the long version, so to speak, is that there's just a lot of singers and not a lot of producers. So everybody would get on the same rhythm, and it became a thing after a while. At first it was like a singer and then a DJ style, and then a singer and then like maybe a different version of the singer, and then it became a thing where a producer would get with a bunch of artists and put out. So all these 7 inches that we got here that Nick was holding up are all the same instrumentation as far as the music goes, but it's a different artist or a vocalist over the song.
Yeah.
So that's like what we call a rhythm.
Yeah.
So go ahead and play that one.
Yeah. So this one is Louis Culture, Foundation from Birth. Or we can show it.
Yeah, let's show it.
So this is someone that actually Carlos helped to tour with. Carlos was a person that, I'll try to show the Digital Beeb.
Yeah, rest in power of Digital Beeb, same way, right?
Digital Bobby or Bobby Digital,
yeah,
as everyone knew him. One of the great producers, last of the great producers. This rhythm is called The Lecturer. It's built off a Studio One blueprint. That's why you can see that they credit Dodd, which was rare in 97, 98. They would usually just say adapted. And
so Studio One, for people who don't know, and I talked about it briefly on another show, which definitely I want to link with some more people and really set the foundation of Studio One. There was original producers. We don't need to get into the super foundation of sound systems and everything, but there were just a handful of producers, and Cox and Dodd, a.k.a. Studio One, was one of the main foundations of a lot of rhythms, a lot of vibes, a lot of tunes out. And this is what, people call a remake, a relick, whatever, where they got the Studio One version and kind of made it like a new updated version. Usually in my term, it's like kind of beefed it up a little bit, maybe checked up the tempo, maybe changed the key a little bit more beefy. And again, this is the Lecturer rhythm.
Lecturer, yeah. Fatter, heavier bass so Bobby Digital had a way of staying true to the originals, but making them, as you said, much fresher and fatter and having beats like Bobby.
Yeah, man, let them go on with it.
Louis Culture. Yeah, wicked too.
Raga. I'm like a puzzle with the figure and a hard nut for crack. A real nerd figure straight from Jam Rock. Some call me dirty nigga, to me carry me dreadlocks. A smiling on my face, I want to stab me on my back, but we not bow down. No, you must be mad, we could not do that. Foundation from birth.
Yeah, so I remember back in the day listening to this, and I was a big hip-hop head, and we all analyze lyrics. And I remember listening to this back in the day, because watch. When he gets into it.
We know where I work. Well, I say yellow Rastafari and I'm a flex. Yes. And then we go call me true friends next. Yellow Polly females.
This one right here.
Yes. We big them up on the funny boy vex. Yes. As a man where we have pants and shirt. The duty is to make love to the blouse and skirt. Yes, me real Norbert. No respect to me Virgin Wilbert. But from
the perspective of Virgin Wilbert. That's so wicked.
For us to this mama hurt. So grassroots now bow down low. You must be mad we could not do that. Foundation from birth. Although the running slow. Get a youths a fit jackpot. We know where life works.
So let's go ahead and play the next tune on there so people know what we're talking about as far as the same rhythm. And I know we explained it.
Yeah. I'll just throw this right on there.
Oh, perfect. Boom.
So this is another one. This singer would bust later, but this was a big tune for her at the time.
Hey, John. What can I hear that thing that you have from a man? Bounce your back, man. My loads on fire.
Yeah, you run
you're
the rhythm.
You're gonna angle the ride. See, they know you're gonna run the broadside. Pull on your head from me, you want to hide. The curb and all a slip and a slide. I say, tell your friend them you wicked and brutal, but now you end up in a hospital. Talk about too much, girl, you kill. You never stop till you write your own will. Now you are gonna doctor fulfill. You should have hear when me tell you fit till you couldn't angle the ride. See, they know you're gone on the broadside. Pull on your head from me, you want hide. Hit the curb and all a slip and a slide. I'm a say, me tell you say you shouldn't mess with this filly. Cause anything cross me ball and me kill.
Alright. Let's play that sizzler. Let's play that sizzler. Yeah. Alright, let's play that sizzler. Look at that. Fast track. Just boom.
Words of righteousness do us so much. None of them well, but yet no purpose. Well, the bring the fire burn and coal and rich. It would have come down to this. Babylon give them a right, feed them money, get them funny. And then brainwash them on them western journey. Babylon give them a right, for the money, get them funny. And then brainwash them on them western journey. We tell them say, this redder than red. The way how this red and be a blood that run red. Go tell them revolution, a swing over them head. For all vampire, this a one ya higher peg.
So Sizzler was part of like my early, adventure into reggae music when I was first getting in, and I talked about it on other shows, just because we're talking about it and you're going right into the tunes and rhythms that I was getting into, I want to say I had his first like Burning album on cassette tape, and I went to Lou's looking for more music, and all I found was cassettes, or there was CDs, which I wasn't about to buy a CD.
Okay.
That's not my thing, you know, still not. Obviously now things are changing even more, but then I discovered 7-inches and was like, oh, I was looking for this track. Oh, I can buy it on a 7-inch. And then I just started collecting 7-inches and going from there. So, you know, and then after a while, I mean, I'm sure you do the same thing. Like, now my collection is like everything I want to a degree, and some stuff that are like collectors, or some stuff that just kind of has a little vibe to it, you know. Some tunes I just have to have, you know, on 7-inch. You know, I can have the LP. Even now I have the digital. You know, just something about having a 7-inch. And like you were saying, I'm not paying a bunch of money, but that's not the point of what the track I was gonna play right quick. I just had to have this on 7.
Yeah.
You know, you know, you just something about it, and just like as a collector back then, and slowly learning about reggae music and what it means, and you know, certain songs are hitting, and I found this tune on I don't know if you ever ran into those. They're probably different now, but it was actually like a jukebox website where you can buy 7-inches for jukeboxes, and they would come. Let me show you here. They would come with this little jukebox tag. So see if you can see that. So that way, on the jukebox, it already came with a little tag. So I just had to have this, you know, Israelites. I was getting super into Rasta, super into reggae, reading the Bible, you know, learning Hebrew, and just something about this I had to have on 7, you know.
Get up in the morning, slaving for bread, sir, so that every mouth can be fed. Oh, me Israelites, get up in the morning, slaving for bread, sir, so that every mouth can be fed. Oh, me Israelites.
And then when you know the history of that, it's like that was one of the biggest like crossover tracks in 1969, made the top 9, you know, popular
Get
charts.
up in the morning,
You know,
slaving for bread, so that every mouth can be
able to play it
fed.
on 7-inch, you know.
Me Israelites, get up in the morning, slaving for bread, sir, so that every mouth can be fed.
Shout out to your dog. Shout out, what's your dog's name? Bunny. Shout out to Bunny in the mix right now.
Darling, she said I was yours to receive. Shut them a tear up choices ago. I don't want to end up like Bonnie and Clyde.
Meaning for me with reggae music, this is how I learned about reggae music. I would pick up 7-inches and then learn the history of it, and then, you know, oh, who's Desmond Decker, and then pick up a track on him on the Beverly's label, and then learn about Beverly's and what Toots, and you know, these type of things with reggae music. And that's how I started like learning about music, and picking up the 7-inches, and you know, experience the rhythm, and picking up, oh, I like this rhythm, I like this artist, like, you know, move from there. What do you got? I know you got something to play right before we lock off.
I got more. So, but I agree with you totally, because I've said I think that the story of Jamaican music, of reggae music, is told on and by the 7-inch.
Yeah, man.
And there's a reason for that. It was much more expensive to produce an entire LP,
right?
Not just for studio time, but for shipping,
right?
To carry it around. The 7-inch was more portable. It was a single song. You could knock these things out.
Right.
So there's many more of these made, and only handfuls made it onto LPs or were exported off the island.
Right.
So when you dig into this music, this is when you find that stuff, like even that Ruler Brown thing. I don't know if that's on any LP, that B-Cat thing.
Right. Now I want to look for it.
Oh man, I don't know. Do you want to play? Should I play something modern before we cut?
Sure, let's do that.
All right. So this thing is actually kind of a mix. It's modern. It's new to market. Just released.
Just released.
It's Willie Williams, which some people might know.
Oh, this is what you were telling me you just bought.
Yeah.
Okay, wicked. And how did you run into this? How did you buy it?
I listen like weekly to different sellers who upload what they have on their sites.
Okay.
This is a producer out of Spain, actually, Roberto Sanchez, who's been doing a lot of stuff. He obviously got some stems, so he's created a fresh song using older recordings.
Okay.
Okay, so he's putting the puzzle back together. And just so you know, I'm not committed to old music.
Right.
Like I play my old shows. I would start in the '60s and play all the way up to 2000s. That was juggling Danny English, Vegas, like all that stuff.
Right. Yeah, man.
But to me, I like sounds of quality, and I wasn't so into this guy because it sounded like he was trying to achieve a sound. But to me, it all came together here. Willie Williams is a great singer. The Clash loved him. They recut his Armageddon Time.
Yeah, wicked
so
tune.
Willie Williams, an important
another UK artist.
From those guys. Those guys loved him, and they took him to really another place with that song. But for me, his voice is still very good. The production on this is very good. It's got a fresh root sound.
Oh, look at that! This is gonna be our last. Oh.
Don't be a toucher.
I forgot about that.
He's a toucher.
Yo, I grabbed my record earlier but I just grabbed my record. Before we started, and Nick was like, "Oh, you a toucher. See how he grabs the record, and this is how I grab the record."
So, do you get feedback? Do people message you about this? I'm curious who's a toucher and who's not a toucher.
See, but then I'm the dude. See, but I'm the dude that has all my records have a sleeve and a middle.
Yeah.
So if you need some middles, I got tons.
I've gotten some middles from you before.
I'll give you more.
Okay.
I got tons.
Because you're good on middles. I'm not a toucher.
So before we play this track, let's go ahead. Yeah, let's show the video. Let's show the label.
Clear vinyl. The label is Empathy. This is the first time I think Roberto Sanchez has used this label. Willie Williams, the singer, Don't Show Off. To me, the vocal side is very strong, and the version side, the dub side.
All right, we're going to play this out, and we'll check you guys next time. Give thanks for tuning in. I know we went over just a few minutes of 45 minutes of 45s, but it's definitely worth it to check the last 45. Again, solid. Give thanks for linking.
Thank you, brother.
It was wicked. We'll have to link up again.
Yeah.
We'll have to link up again.
I love it.
Yeah, it's just
that's right. There's some stuff we didn't get to.
Some more stuff we didn't get to. I was telling him earlier I'm a 45 adapter collector. I have just a handful, and he was telling me there's a book out that I didn't even know about the book. We got to get it on next time, and we might have to link up with that brethren who
can do it.
Yeah, that would be wicked, because I'm such a nerd on 45s. It's just something about the 45, you know? So... Solid, where can people check you online?
Yeah, so I don't really promote. I'm the worst at promotion in the world, but
I'm asking you.
Okay, thank you, brother. So I'm doing radio again these days. I'm on 89.1 FM, KNSJ, San Diego. You can find out more about that at knsj.org. My show is Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific time. You can hit me up, solid.wax@gmail.com if you want to find me. I'm just under my own name.
Instagram?
Facebook. No.
No Instagram. No, all good. And then on Facebook, you're...
Nick Solidrock.
Okay.
Nick Solidrock.
Check him out on Facebook.
And also Mixcloud, mixcloud.com/solid selection. I archive all my radio shows. They're 1 hour, straight vinyl, just fresh mix, limited voicing, no commercials, reggae music, 1 hour mixes.
That's what's up.
Mixcloud.com/solid selection.
Wicked. Again, thank you. And one more time.
Willie Williams, Don't Show Off, is produced by Roberto Sanchez. Brand new and good for you. It's about keeping it real. Don't show off. It's an antidote to these times. It's anti-Kardashian. Be real.
Wicked. Well, give thanks.
Thanks for coming, brother.
Check you next time. Bless.
Don't show off. Oh no. On the people that you meet every day. Oh, yeah. Don't show off. the ground, yeah. The same people you meet when you're going to the top. The same one you meet if you flip and you flop. Back to the ground, yeah. Oh, back to the ground. Don't show off. I know. I make your big friend laugh. Oh no, oh no. Don't show off. Oh no. To them I know I'm nothing I inside. I will.
45 minutes of 45 selection with Dashai. This is Ray Darwin on my tribute to the Dashai 45 session. My brethren chilling on the couch with this portable turntable, selecting sweet reggae music for you and reasoning about discovering, finding and collecting Reggae 45. Dedication and passion. Run it. Final 45 in my brain. You lick a four-stripe sound. Are you not ready? Dashai, rule that soul. A final replay. Your 7-inch 45, you know we keep it alive. Yeah, yeah. Stop that little trip to select a shop. Can't miss Dashai tribute to 45. No, sir. Pure classic 45. Me brethren apply. Dashai open up the archive. 45 minutes of 45 in my spin. Chilling on the sofa with the roots rock rhythm. Spread the good vibes, brethren. Now we have another spliff blazing. Can't touch Dashai 45. Rule that's all. Dashai keep the reggae music, vinyl music alive. That's all. Say the vinyl we play. No boy can test Dashai 45 minutes of 45. That's all. You lick a four-stripe sound. Are you not ready? Dashai rule and soul. A vinyl we play. 7-inch 45, you know we keep it alive.